when the righteous are in authority.
Who is the righteous? The Israelites. Okay? That's the righteous, the Israelites. Okay? Go ahead.
The people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
And you can see the conditions in the mind state of the people today when these so-called white people are ruling. Everybody's tired. Everybody's worn out. Okay? Everybody's sick. It's some type of element that they fighting in their bodies, man. Okay? You got polluted air. Okay? You got polluted water. You got polluted food. The family structure is polluted. Okay? The animals that you see in the world, Esau takes them and dissects them and try to rearrange their sex. Same way he does with humans. Okay? It's all polluted. The beliefs of what's real and what's not is polluted. Okay? People actually believe in this idol. People actually believe in it. Okay? And people look at us like we're nuts. And we explain to them that that's not how the Lord looked, and that's not who he is, and we go into the history of him, and they would stand right in front of us and say, why you got Jesus looking like that? Okay. After we have explained it to them. Okay. That let you know that their mind is polluted. Okay? The minds of the people are polluted. It's no critical thinking. It's no asking questions. Okay? It's all polluted and confusion and lies. Okay? The jobs are on the decline. Okay? Okay? People's livelihoods are destroyed. Okay? You got viruses everywhere. Okay? You even got actual animals, which I'm gonna name particular one. You got dogs and cats. You got dogs and cats. You got dogs don't actually chase after the cats no more. They'll see a cat and go lay down beside it. You see? It's all confusing, man. I remember growing up younger, a dog would, as soon as he see whatever cat, man, he after him. Now the dog go lay down by the cat. Okay. And they ain't even got to be raised with, and they ain't even got to be raised around the cat. Okay. They'll go right over there and lay down right by him. Right. You see? Okay. Crazy. You got birds dropping out of the sky. Okay? Because it's levels to this 5G towers that they use. They turn it up, turn it down, and you got birds flying and getting dropped out of the sky. You got chemtrails. When it rains, you rub your hand across your car. It's all rough and sticky. Why is that? Because evils have multiplied on the earth. Because of what? The so-called white man, these Edomites are ruling. There's nothing new up under the sun. Like I said, when you, back in the day, when I was younger, when it rained, people would say, that's a free car wash. Now, you gotta wash your car after it rains because it's so sticky and so rough, man. Okay. You see, once you rub your hand across it, man. And who knows what's in them chemtrails, man? Who knows what's in them now, man? Okay? They are trying to alter the DNA of people that's walking around, targeting mainly the Israelites, Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. So that's the evil that's multiplied on the earth. And then you got Esau on the left-hand side is trying to merge, which he's going to do some people like that, merge them with computers. Dealing with the microchip. So you got evils multiplied on the earth, man. Okay? So read that again.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
You even got Edomites coming out saying they can't pay their bills. You see, Jake already, nigga Latinos and Native Americans already catching hell. But now you got even Edomites complaining about how they getting taxed, how they have to work 2 jobs, okay, to support their family, and Congress is making $100,000 a year, and they gotta work so much and so many jobs to even make what Congress is making these days.
And they still be asking for raises and shit.
And they still be asking for raises. You see?
They barely get by.
So you even got Edomites, okay? You even got Edomites, which we don't care about them, but we using them as an example, okay? You even got Edomites just complaining about the conditions because the evils have multiplied. You got Edomites that come up with this, with the fake global warming, you know, coming up with going green because they can see the pollution. You got pollution in the ocean. Esau will pollute the ocean, okay? It would dump trash in the ocean, and it would be so much to where it will become an island, man. That's how much trash, okay, Esau would dump in the ocean, man. Okay, plastic bottles everywhere, man, all in the ocean, man. And then when some animals commit suicide by jumping out of the water and ending up on the beach, and you open them up, they got all license plates in them, trash in them, bottles in them. It's because Esau is polluting the water, okay? And then you got these heathens, starting with Esau. Then you got these other heathens that's polluting the water. Look at Fukushima. You think that radiation have stopped? Nah, the ocean is radiated, man. And then they'll show you on YouTube about some animal, the way, oh, this is a newly created animal, but it's deformed because of the radiation. It has encountered radiation, and it's deformed, and they'll say, oh, this is a new creature. Nah, man, because of radiation. But this place is all polluted, man. And now, you know, and now, the way things are now, man, this place has to go because of the evils have multiplied. So read that one more time for me again, bro.
This is Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
See? So the scriptures is accurate, man. These people are in mourning, man, because their livelihoods are destroyed, man. And the banking elite, they're getting richer and richer off this COVID-19, man. Okay? They're getting richer and richer, man. They trade stocks and get richer and richer, man. And Donald Trump is right along in there with them, man. He's in agreements with them. Okay? They all getting rich, man, off this COVID-19, man. Okay? And like I told y'all, when it first started, they're gonna use this just like they use terrorism, and they plan on it to do what they gotta do, okay? To take you people's freedoms and to bring that microchip, okay? That's what they got going. It's just that simple. It ain't hard, okay? That's what they doing. They taking your freedom so they can implement this microchip. Bottom line, man. And they gonna hit you with them vaccines, okay? Now you got people being, if they ain't being quarantined, if they ain't quarantined, you know, you got people that travel. If they don't quarantine after they have traveled, they'll get hit with $1,000 fines, man. You got that going on, man. You know, and you got bloggers and you got YouTubers that travel all over the world, that have come to a screeching halt because those YouTubers who travel all over the world, they can't go to certain parts of the world no more because it's on lockdown. Okay? So things are changing, it's not getting better, and evils have multiplied in the earth because of the wickedest rule. And people are in mourning, man. The lifestyle that they used to have before COVID-19 and before 9/11, that's have altered their lifestyle, man. Okay? And it's gonna be a second lockdown. All you have to do is look at New Zealand and Australia and look at their condition. It's coming here, man. Okay? It's coming here. New Zealand and Australia, man, they was on the lockdown. They couldn't go outside for nothing, man. Police in Australia, they surrounded the building, and it was like 3,000 people in an apartment complex or a high rise, so to speak, and they couldn't even come out, man. They had to stay in there with what they had, man. People was all on the phone calling their loved one, you know, that was outside relatives, saying that they need baby food, they need diapers, and so on and so forth. But they had to stay in there, man. It was on lockdown. So this lockdown that's coming, this second wave, is gonna be a hell of a lockdown, man. Okay? And what? That's gonna cause the people what is that going? How is the mind state of the people going to be? They're gonna be in mourning, man. See? They ain't gonna be able to come outside and they're gonna lose their mind, man. And then you got a lot of suicides being committed, which they not reporting, okay? Because of their livelihood have been destroyed and how they have to stay in the house, and you got a lot of domestic violence going on too. So the people are in mourning, man. So go back to Maccabees. So the people are in mourning, man.
All right, this is back in First Maccabees chapter 1, and I'll read 9 again.
Oh yeah,
9.
and then you got a wave of them evictions. People are on the edge because they're not financially capable enough to pay their rent or their mortgage, so they're looking to get evicted, man. Okay, so that's a wave of that is coming, man. You see? Go ahead.
All right, this is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
So those 4 generals that stood out, like I was saying, is Lysimachus, Cassander, Ptolemy, and Seleucus. Okay? Those were the 4 generals that stood out. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
So there you go. He said it came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus Epiphanes. And he come out of the Seleucus line. Okay? And when you go into the history, he was not a Syrian. He was just in that land. Okay? But he come out of the Seleucian line, which the Seleucian line are so-called white people, and their biblical identity, their biblical nationality is Edom, Esau. So Antiochus Epiphanes was a what? Edomite. That would be his nationality when you look into the scriptures. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, son of the Antiochus, the king who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137 year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
See? So they'll throw the Greeks back in there. But like I tell you, and like I told you, when you deal with the Greeks, which they wasn't the original Greeks, but when Alexander came into power, he took over that land. He conquered them. So when you go back to Genesis, the 10th chapter, and the 2nd verse, and you look up the word Javon, that's a connection dealing with the Greeks. That's a connection right there. But when you actually look it up, it'll say Greece. Okay? But that's a connection to let you know that the real Greeks are descendants of Japhet. Okay? Not so-called white people. Go ahead.
This is verse 11. In those days, when there went there out of Israel wicked men.
So, what? You had our people, which were wicked men, do what? Let's find out.
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So, you had Israelites, which belong to the covenant, statute, laws, and commandments in the Bible, which was given to Israelites, say, look, let us start doing what the heathens are doing that's round about us, even the so-called white man. So let us start being like the so-called white man, okay? So you can understand. Read it again, bro.
Come. This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. And in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuade many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So they made an agreement. And we're going to look up the word persuaded. We're going to look that word up and see what persuaded means. And these were the leaders of Israel. Okay? So you had the leaders of, at that time, it was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay? During the time of the Maccabees. You had Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And the leaders was what? The Levites, the Haitians. So you had the leaders, which was the priests, you know, which were the Levites, which you know as the Haitians today. They persuaded many to leave from the covenant and do after the actual heathens that was round about them. And who was ruling at that time? So-called white men. So you had the so-called Negroes, meaning the Haitians, Jamaicans, and the so-called African Americans, which the Haitians was was our leaders. They set up agreement with the heathens and the heathens, which consists of the so-called white man and the other nation that was around about them, man. And the so-called white man was in rulership at that time, man. There's nothing new up under the sun, man. That's why you got our people, when they get higher up in situations, and you people look at them, you Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, look at them as leaders, you don't understand that they have made an agreement with them. I'm talking about movie stars, rappers, radio hosts. You don't understand big churches, okay, the mega churches. You don't understand that they have actually made a covenant with the so-called white man, which is a heathen, which is Esau, Edom, to basically persuade you to follow their ways and not the statute, laws, and commandments, even though they got it in their hand and they say they believe in God.
Okay.
See? So we're gonna deal with the word persuaded.
All right, this is online etymology dictionary, and it says persuade is a verb. It says to lead. It says lead to the opinion or conclusion.
Yeah.
That make one believe or think, successfully urge the acceptance or practice of.
Yeah. So they were persuaded to practice the what? The ways of the heathen. Okay? So you had the leaders persuade the people that they had influence on to practice the customs of the heathen. So you had Israelites leaving off their actual customs. So read that again.
All right, this is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we had had much sorrow.
See? Go ahead.
Verse 12. So this device pleased them well.
So that agreement, okay, and them being persuaded pleased them well, man, because they start getting the benefits back, which they had lost. Okay? Go ahead.
So verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
So they got license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. So these are Israelites leaving off from the commandments of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So these are Israelites saying, look, we ain't gonna keep the commandments. We're not gonna follow our heritage. We just gonna do exactly what the heathens are doing. Okay? We're gonna follow their ways. And you got the masses of the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are doing the same thing today. What you got, bro?
Hey, this one right here, the Benjamins, that's actually a race.
Benjamin is a tribe, okay? Benjamin is a tribe. As you can see, we got it written at the top, right? It's the 12 tribes of Israel, right?
Yeah.
And Benjamin is who you know today as the so-called Jamaicans, okay? That's a nation of people. That's a tribe of people, okay? When you deal with the 12 tribes of Israel, Benjamin is one of the tribes, okay? But when you put all of them together, when you put all these tribes together, they make up the nation of Israel. Those are the true biblical Israelites, according to the King James Bible. Okay? You understand?
Yeah.
All right.
Ask you a question.
Go ahead.
In the Bible, I know it says something around this. Take these herbs and use something like that. Something about like plants or whatever.
Yeah.
Can you
Herbs.
read that to me?
What about it?
Well, I don't know the actual verse. I was going to ask if you can recite it for me, because I don't know what it is. The actual words.
What you mean, just as far as using herbs to heal yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Genesis. That's in Genesis. That's in the book of Genesis.
Is it pretty much what I just said?
Is he talking about smoking?
Yeah, I'm
Smoking
talking about weed.
No, man. You don't. That's a heathen custom when you smoke weed. That's a heathen custom. Like this brother can give you an example. He's a so-called Mexican, okay? He's a so-called Mexican from the tribe of Issachar.